the TV. I threw a 5 pound weight at it, and then I've been throwing some holy water on it. If that sounds crazy, it's because it was. I wasn't entirely in control of my own faculties. As you're aware, we live in a world of spiritual attacks where they manipulate you to the point where they try to take control over you. Um, Satan, you have no power over me. But I continue to read. Okay. Be chill, brother. Be chill. That's what I gotta say. Peace be with you, brother. In God we trust. Holy. Okay. This is what I was talking about. Um, Proverbs. The beginning of knowledge. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of Uriah, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and the riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. The enticement of sinners. Hear, my sons, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching, for they are a graceful garland for your head, and pendants for your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without reason. Like shale, let us swallow them alive, and whole, like those who go down to the pit. Who shall find all precious goods? Who shall fill our houses with plunder? Throw in your lot among us. We will have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their paths, for their feet run to evil. They make haste to shed blood, for in vain is a net spread, and the sight of any bird. But these men lie in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives. Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessors. I think I'm going to read a little bit of this, and then I'm going to continue reading the Book of Mormons. The Call of Wisdom. Wisdom cries aloud in the streets. In the markets she raises her voice. At the head of the noisy streets she cries out. At the entrance of the city gates she speaks. How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? If you turn at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? If you turn at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. I will make my words known to you, because I have called, and you have refused to listen. Have stretched out my hand, and no one has heeded, because you have ignored all my counsel. You would have none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when terror strikes you, when terror strikes you like a storm, and your calamity comes like a whirlwind. When distress and anguish come upon you, then they will call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but will not find me, because, because they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord, would have none of my counsel, and despise all my reproof. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their way, and have their fill of their own devices. For the simple are killed by their turning away, and the complacency of fools destroys them. But whoever listens to me will dwell secure, and will be at ease, without dread of disaster. This is one of the this is the thing that I'm dealing with, lust. So this is something that I read for my own sake, and also because it is such a prominent thing in our world. And even I, I, I believe spiritually. I could be wrong, but the spirit, Satan attacks the spirit. And if we're connecting our spirits to others, how more easily can he move through um, uh, from person to person? God is omnipotent, he's everywhere. But if we allow ourselves to become open doorways for the devil to walk through easily, which he does, how are we going to live a God filled world? In a God filled world, it is absolutely difficult, impossible. We cannot have that and be with the devil. Be with, we cannot be with the devil, allowing to have him walking through our doorsteps, and also have God. So we must have God and reject Satan. And that is why I'm trying to remain spiritually connected to just myself. So God the Father, I know, has a clean temple for him to sit upon or sit in. And so, yes, I feel we sin spiritually and physically. Spiritually, that is something that we are either damned to eternal oblivion, we burn in the lake of fire, and fall in the way of Satan, or rise to the occasion and reject all of his followings, his teachings, his blasphemies against God, his hatred for everything good, and live in a peaceful and loving and bright and beautiful world that our Father is promising us. He said it's there. We just need to be able to reject everything else that he stands against, and he does not want us to stand for. I'm not proclaiming to be perfect, but have try, fucking try, because people out there are not trying. Even the ones that seem to be trying are fighting and losing their battles because they are not using the full armor of the Lord. I am trying to do that as well. He's here with me. This slows down the lustful intentions that are being directed or coming from me. It's reining in my spiritual desires, my spirit, not my, yes, my spirit, because my spirit also wants to have those things, but I restrain myself to keep myself from becoming a wild animal. I won't, I won't let Satan attach himself and then move forward to other people through me. I don't want that to happen. Okay. Warning against adultery. My son, be attentive to my wisdom. Incline your ear to my understanding, that you may keep discretion, and your lips may guard knowledge. For the lips of a forbidden woman drip honey, and her speech is smoother than oil. But in the but in the end she is bitter as wormwood. She sharp, and her speech is smoother than oil, but in the end she is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps follow the path to Sheol. She does not ponder the path of life. Her ways wander, and she does not know it. And now, O sons, listen to me, and do not depart from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house, lest you give lest you give your honor to others, and your years to the merciless. Let strangers take their fill of your strength, and your labors go to the house of a foreigner. And at the end of your life you groan, when your flesh and body are consumed, and you say, how I hated discipline, and my heart despised reproof. I did not listen to the voice of my teachers, or incline my ears to my instructor. I am at the brink of utter ruin in the assembled congregation. Drink water from your own cistern, flowing water from your own well. Should your springs be scattered abroad, streams of water in the streets, let them be for yourself alone, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice in the wife of your youth, a lovely deer, a graceful doe. Let her breast fill you at all times with delight. Be intoxicated always in her love. Why should you be intoxicated, my son, with a forbidden woman, and embrace the bosom of an adulteress? For a man's ways are before the eyes of the Lord, and he ponders all his paths. The iniquities of the wicked ensnare him. If he is held fast in the cords of his sin, he dies for lack of discipline, and because of his great folly, he is led astray. Discipline, men and women. We need to be teaching our kids, the younger generation, to walk in the path of God, to be disciplined, to not let our physical desires rule over us. Lust. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of your members than your whole body be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of your members than your whole body go into hell. Divorce. It was also said, whoever divorces his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife, except on the ground of sexual immorality, makes her commit adultery, and whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. So, I'm not sinless. I look at women with with a physical desire that needs to be fulfilled. Um, I won't say it's exactly sexual or in nature or anything like that, because I'm usually, unless it's like blatantly, and that's what I'm looking for. Um, it's usually I'm paying attention to the eyes, the hair, what she's wearing, the background, the the shape of her face, or whether she has freckles, what color her eyes are, um, the way her voice sounds, just paying attention to what God created, not intentionally seeking out that desire to be sinful. It's not something. I mean, it it's completely normal to have it there, but um, not allowing it to be the first thing that pops into your head takes restraint, and then further allowing yourself to admire that woman and her beauty without wanting to or thinking about something lustful takes further restraint. And so I don't go out, I'm not trying to look at women that are blatantly sexual in nature. I'm trying to fill my life with women that are talking and preaching about God, because I know that if they are also preaching about God, then even though he might have an end, Satan doesn't might have a way of like manipulating me, is what I mean when I say and um, I know that God is also working through the ladies that I'm watching, because they are speaking of the Bible, reading of the Bible. So their souls are also consuming the the bread of life, and knowing that I can feel comfort and being okay with hearing what I hear, because I know that God is also there with them, and keeping them safe, just as He is keeping me safe. So um, a man, it made me sad that Abraham had to lie about his wife being his wife, because he feared that his life would be taken, literally ripped from his from his hands, spilled out onto the streets, um, because of his wife, her beauty, the lustful intentions of other men. So he sought to protect himself by saying that his wife was his sister, and they took her, and it broke my heart, and it still does, because I don't know whether the story doesn't elaborate on what all might have taken place, but my assumption is that they had their way with her, and then God decided to step in and punish them for having um, done such an evil thing to Abraham, someone he loved, and yeah, women are women are beautiful. Men,